We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next. Welcome back to the Daily Helpline. Today, Miles and I are joined by singer and actress Marie Osmond. Now, our next guest is a young mother trying to overcome some painful emotions stemming from her newborn son being born partially deaf. Let's take a look at what Laniece had to say.
My name is Laniece, and I'm a mother to a special needs son. This is his Microtia that is on the left side of his ear. He can only hear loud noises. I think that people will look at Jordan a little differently. I am a little concerned with cost issues because one day he will be able to get surgery on his ear. Because I know he is going to be wearing a hearing aid, I do believe that kids may pick on him. This was all new for me, and being a first-time mom, you just kind of think the worst. I was very hard on myself. I suffer from a lot of guilt and shame because I wasn't sure if I wanted to expose this about my son. What did I do wrong during my pregnancy for this to happen? When I lay my son down at nighttime, I find myself thinking about things that he will not be able to do.
Thank you so much for being here and sharing your story. And I can see already how much it hurts.
Okay, she's got me. Can I tell you, I don't know if you know this, I come from a family of 9 children. I'm the only girl. I have 8 brothers. My 2 oldest brothers were born deaf. And my mother was told after her second child to never have any more children. And the 7 children she had after those 2 are all the performing Osmonds. We're all singers. But I have such love for my older brothers because there would not be an Osmond family if it weren't for them, because my brothers started singing so that we could afford to buy hearing aids for my 2 older brothers. And they're phenomenal and they're amazing. And in some ways, I think they're more amazing than my other brothers.
And you know, one of the interesting things that I have found is that children really pick up on the messages that we give them. You know, we're all born perfectly imperfect. That's what I love to say.
I love that.
You know, yeah, because we all have something.
We're all
I mean, we
different.
all have our challenges. We all have our weaknesses and our strengths. That's the part of being human beings. But we don't inherently know that something is wrong with us until someone tells us. And so I think that in some way, it is such a disservice that we do to our children by carrying that guilt and shame. Because what we say is, you're not perfect, and I have a feeling about that. And so that is not, I look at that perfect, beautiful little boy who is perfectly imperfect, and I'll tell you, you say, he'll never be able to wear glasses. So what? He might wear contacts. He'll never be able to wear...
I wear glasses and I don't want them.
I know.
No.
Laniece, I don't want to get lost on this because I think this is about him at some level, but I see it affecting you.
That's what I was going to say.
It does a
And
lot.
I want to know how it's impacting you.
It's impacted me in a lot of different ways because I just want to, there is stress and there is guilt and there is shame, and I want to learn how to cope with all of these things so I can be the best mother that I can be for him.
What's the emotion behind guilt and shame?
Just sadness, and it's a lot for me, especially being a young mother.
My brothers, my mother was told to institutionalize them, and she said never. She was the first person that broke the system and said, they're my children, I keep them in my house. The thing is that I see in you this, somehow what did I do? You did nothing. Can I tell you, I'm one of the founders of Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. You see us out there, the hot air balloon. We help 30 million children every single year. We've raised $5 billion to help children, and 100% of it goes to kids. But over that time, the greatest thing that I've seen with these children that struggle is God gave them to you for a reason. This little boy is yours for a reason because you're the mother he needed.
And prior to this, I did miscarriage prior to me getting pregnant with him. And I always thought, why did this happen, and why did God bless me with him? And I feel like going through all this now, this is why. This was his plan. This is why I went through everything I went through throughout my whole pregnancy.
He's how old now?
He's 2 months.
2 months. Oh, honey, it's just beginning.
And he's already a handful.
Yes, and he'll need you, and he'll go through moments of doubt. You know, one of the great sayings is, you know, that God never gives us anything we can't handle, and that our sorrows can become our joys. And I always thought, what does that mean? You know what the joy is in the sorrow is that you are able to look at somebody else in the eye who may have a child that struggles with something, and you can look at them and say, I understand you. I get you. That's why we go through things in life, is so that we can look other people in the eye and say, I understand. I lost a child. So, you know, you can beat yourself up forever, but you have to believe that you're the best mother you possibly could have been. You did the best you can. You can always do what ifs, but it's like I told my children, I'm not claiming to be a perfect mother, but I love you perfectly. And that's all you can say to your children. You do the best you can.
And there's a difference between guilt and shame. You know, guilt is that I have done something bad. Shame is that I am bad.
Yes.
Guilt is about the behavior, and it's okay to experience that. It's a healthy human emotion. When you get in the shame lane, that's where it takes over. And it becomes that I'm not enough, I've done something wrong, and that's going to transfer over. So, and I want you to know it's a process. There are some days I'm on top of that, and some days I'm white knuckling it because I don't feel enough. So we all struggle with it. Talk about it, be open about it. We want to give you some resources. We're going to do that backstage to help you unravel the shame so you can work through that and show up for you so that you can show up for your son.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you
I really
so much.
appreciate it.
Good luck to you.
Stay tuned. We got lots more on the Daily Helpline coming right up.
Coming up.
You're diabetic, heart disease runs in your family, you're a cigarette smoker, and you admit to eating a lot of fast food.
I wish there was something I can do to control myself.
We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next.